Oh, hey, buddy. How you doing? You're kind of interested in Timbrens, eh? Well, we absolutely love them. A huge game changer for the RV. If you got a minute, let's have a coffee. We'll have a chat. So before I get into discussing the Timbrens, if I answered your question right off the hop here, just hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. So before we decided to go with the Timbrens, I did a ton of research. I'm just one of those kind of people. I was all over the internet looking at suspension upgrades, how to make it a little bit more stable. Um, Specifically in crosswinds in Manitoba, we have ridiculous winds, as anybody who lives here knows. And I really felt it when semis would pass us, or we'd pass a semi. You'd feel kind of that air block. You'd get sucked in or pushed over, depending on who's doing the passing in the highway. If a semi on a single lane highway was coming at you, if it was a big freight liner pushing a lot of air, it would move you over about a foot. We had to do something. We've got a lot of plans to do a lot of travel in it. So there's a lot of stuff out there. And I went deep into the rabbit hole of, what do you get? Do you do shocks and struts and, all that kind of stuff? But I talked to the guys out at St. Agath. Finally, I just kind of threw my hands up and said, okay, I really don't know what I'm needing. And they suggested the Timbren system. You can purchase them online, right from Timbren. You can go to Amazon. They sell these things. You can do them yourself. You can jack your vehicle up and do it on your driveway, or as they suggest on their information video on Timbren's website, do it at your campground. But when they show you how to do it, it looks easy, but I think it's beyond the scope of what I can do, especially with it. They say it only takes a few simple hand tools, which is true, but one of those simple hand tools is a huge torque wrench, which I don't own, and I have no intention of buying a large one for that purpose. I've got one that'll snug down our lug nuts if we have to change a tire, but that's about the extent of what I do. And I'm certainly not going to crawl under the van to do any modifications. I just think it's one of those things where I'd rather pay somebody who knows what they're doing specifically to do that, and just out of safety for not only Jackie and I, but whoever we share the road with. I don't want to be messing with anything suspension wise on the van. I think the less I mess around with it, the better off we'll be. We definitely paid more than if you did a DIY job, but I'm okay with that. Now, in searching online and looking at all the different options out there, the one big one that gets really pushed is Agile Off-Road's RIP kit. It's very stout. There's no question. If you had a 4x4 Sprinter and you're looking to do some backcountry off-roading and such, that would be a good choice. Van Compass also makes a kit. Super Steer, I believe they're in Oregon. They also make a kit there. One of the big ones is Sumo Springs. You come across that a lot, and there's a lot of influencer type videos selling Sumo Springs. That's kind of the direct competition for the Timbrens. And our use for the motorhome isn't going to be off-roading. It's pretty much going to be on highways, the odd gravel road. We're not going to be pushing this thing in an off-road or overlanding situation. So, replacing the bump stops with the helper springs just seemed like the right choice for us. And there's not a lot of information online specifically talking about the Timbrens in Sprinter vans, specifically 3500 with a dually on the back. I was a little frustrated with that because, you'd see a lot of information on the Timbrens as it pertains to guys putting them in their trucks to help with fifth wheel sag when they're towing their fifth wheels. You see a lot of information with the Timbrens in that context, but the only real information you get about the Timbrens in a Sprinter van scenario is from Timbren themselves. And, do you trust that? Sure, but they've definitely got a vested interest in what they're selling. So I thought I'd throw this quick video together just to give you our perspective on it as Sprinter van owners, and I think what most people would probably be looking for. When we first got the motorhome, it we noticed it drove like a dream, and we kind of joke that it drives like a Mercedes, which it really does. Um, but you'd get a floating sensation. You'd feel like you're floating down the highway. Like, just imagine if you're sitting in a boat, still fishing. Um, you just kind of get that floaty forward, backwards, right to left kind of feeling. It's very comfortable and fun to drive until you get into crosswinds, or until a larger vehicle passes you, or if you pass a larger vehicle. If you take an off ramp, the amount of sway and rocking and rolling you feel is considerable. And if you put on top of that crosswinds, it can be challenging. The other thing we had noticed when we got the RV is that when we're parked and you walk around in it, you could really feel your body weight just moving the van. Um, we're not little people, but we're not exceptionally large, and you could really feel the van kind of swaying a bit as you walk in it. Our hope was that the Timbrens would create some stability on. So on the trip home from St. Agatha, where we had the work done, we had a huge crosswind. The motorhome performed exquisitely in that. We had one semi pass me, didn't even feel them. After we had the Timbrens installed, it's like walking around in the house. It's super solid. It's night and day, but it truly feels like driving our SUV. There's no rocking, there's no rolling. So I think we're going to wrap it up with that. My honest opinion, we love these things so far. They were affordable. If you're a DIY guy that's got a big torque wrench, you could probably do these things on your own. But I would highly suggest them if you're concerned about your Class B plus motorhome swaying and kind of rocking and rolling down the highway like that. These are definitely a good solution for you. If you have any questions, definitely throw them in the comment section below. And with that, we'll see you down the road.